despite having a happier and healthier population than possibly anywhere else in the world. Scandinavia is still known for some of the darker stories that are out there. Some of them true, others just the products of very vivid imaginations, and still others a blend of the two.
Emily var inte den enda unga tjej som får illa i församlingen. Hon berättar att hennes nära vän utsattes än värre.
And it was one of these stories that I became interested in 3 years ago. I thus embarked on a project that would eventually lead me to where the story originated, but not just to investigate it. Instead, I went all the way to Sweden and deep into its countryside to see if I could bring the story to life. Some of you already knew that I'd made the trip to Sweden, but I hadn't yet said why. In Scandinavia, as well as some of surrounding Europe, there's a tale about a creature that, at least in the Swedish, is called Näcken. Näcken is a water-dwelling evil spirit. That much is the same across all the versions of the myth that I could find. Sort of the male equivalent of a siren. But here, some versions of the story start to differ. Because if he were like a male siren, then presumably he'd be handsome and appear as a temptation only to women. But Näcken is described as being hideous, like some sort of monster or a serpent, though in some tales he is a shapeshifter. Most importantly though, he lies in wait of anyone who dares venture near the water, especially children. And there we have the probable origins of this story, to keep children away from rivers and lakes.
Näcken fungerade lite som en påminnelse, särskilt för barn, att vara försiktiga nära vatten.
And this is a serious concern in these parts of Europe. Between the 4 mainland Nordic countries, there are 500,000 lakes, not to mention rivers and streams. You're never more than a short stroll from water, where, as the story goes, Näcken could be waiting. It might sound like a cruel thing to tell a kid, but especially with the temperatures in the north, you can understand why people feared for the safety of children who went wandering. Now, where I get interested in the story is in a part that is always present in the Swedish version, which is that Näcken lures his victims not with the physical and erotic appeal that we associate with sirens, but using only beautiful music. And that is, of course, an element of the siren myth as well, since sirens sing, but with Näcken, it's just about the music. And it's often mentioned that the music is incomparably beautiful, to the point that even those who know that it's a hideous monster's trap might be unable to resist its charm. When I hear this, personally, I think of Swan Lake, the story of which doesn't bear too much of a resemblance, but the music from Swan Lake is often thought to have this kind of intangible and aquatic beauty. There has even been some research into whether this has a scientific explanation behind it. The Näcken myth is not really very well known outside of these parts of Europe. Despite having been around for centuries, no one really plays on that theme too much. In modern novels and movies, there are a few references to it, but it's not like vampires or even Swan Lake itself, of which there have been some modern adaptations. Around the same time that I was looking into this, I met a musician named Louise Geller through an online Swedish class. She'd been learning Swedish for less time than I had, but was already living in Sweden. And at that same time, I was looking to do some kind of non-language project, like something that I would do anyway, but in Swedish. So when I found out that Louise was a singer, I had the idea of writing a song that would help us both to learn some new vocabulary. And personally, I find the Näcken myth quite eerie and appealing. I always think still water looks ominous, and I particularly go in for the idea that one might be lured with beautiful music, because I've followed my ear to music to find out where it's coming from and what it is multiple times.
Listen carefully, can you hear it? Now the brass.
I can hear it.
So I found myself writing my own version of this story, in which the singer is the eternal victim of Näcken and laments her trapped existence. Now, although Louise is an accomplished singer with multiple music and performance accolades, sold-out shows in Edinburgh, TV appearances in both Sweden and Britain, and much more, she's still not famous for her music, and she actually works full-time as a doctor. And I mention this to say that neither of us really has the appropriate avenue to release a song, where a song would be the expected form of content. But given that it's a song in Swedish, this channel here is the most logical place for us to put it when it's finished. In the meantime, if you would like to follow Louise on social, I'll put links to her Instagram and YouTube in the description. Putting a song on this channel means that it also has to have a video clip, because aside from anything else, it's 2024, so I think all songs have video clips now. I don't really know these kids and their music. So that's why I was in Sweden, to shoot the video clip for the song that I wrote for Louise to perform, which, when said like that, makes it sound real simple. I can assure you it was anything but.
He's right. Going to another country is a pain in the tail, but going there virtually is easy with me, Surfshark VPN. Whether you're on desktop or mobile, you just select where you wanna go, connect, and boom, you're somewhere else, meaning that websites and apps will think you're in that place. This achieves many things, like making your online activity more secure, shows you content that you can't normally see, it can show you language options that they hide from you because they think you don't want them. Pfft. And on some things you can even get a better price. Speaking of a better price, I am running a deal for December. Hey, that rhymes. Well, not rhymes, I don't know, it's alliteration or something. Anyway, you can get a very good deal on Surfshark VPN right now, but you have to hurry because the deal don't last long. Go to surfshark.com/Lamont, that's LAMONT, to get access to me, the best VPN, for a very special price. Or you can use that QR code thing there. Anyway, I'm a VPN and a shark, so I gotta keep moving. Hehe, get it? I gotta get to Croatia so that some guy can immerse in 5 seasons of a show, and you gotta go get Surfshark. Peace.
For starters, I've never written a song before. I've written music before, but not a song. Not all music is songs, and I've certainly never written a song for a voice like Louise's before.
1, 2, 3, drink, throw 'em back to Linus Contorn. Gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
Secondly, I've never shot a music video clip. I've never even shot on location before. 3, gimbals. I hadn't used the gimbal very much before. I really should have practiced more. I ran out of time. And on top of all of that was the fact that we shot the music video without first having recorded the song, which I know sounds like the most rookie mistake ever, but it was actually deliberate. Basically, we're just not in a position to make the full studio recording of the song at the moment, so it's hard to know whether the video that we shot for it will actually work. In theory, we shot it in such a way that it should be usable, but it's hard to know for certain. If it's not, or if it's missing pieces, then I'll have to go back. What a shame. But this time I can avoid some of the mistakes that we made last time. I will have shot with the gimbal before, I will have practiced more, I will have shot a music video before, being this one. It won't be July, so the sun may actually go down and give us the light we need. Imagine that. Yeah, because from this angle it kind of looks like the sun is at least setting, even though it's not really. All in all, finished or not, I'm still very happy that we embarked on this project. It's been very interesting and a lot of fun, and I hope that you guys will like the song. Like I said, it will be on this channel when it's done, so when you see it, take a few minutes to enjoy it. It will have optional subtitles for those who don't speak Swedish, but just don't take it as a sign that I won't be doing language learning stuff anymore. That's still what this channel is and will continue to be. So for those who didn't know, which is basically all of you, that is why I went to Sweden. Älskar.